Well, hello and welcome to a instant reaction podcast. Of course, here you can follow us. My name is Kevin Olenek. Of course, you can follow us on Twitter at Shifts and Pucks, Facebook.com Shifts and Pucks, YouTube.com Shifts and Pucks, Twitch.com Shifts and Pucks. Subscribe wherever you get your audio, as well as we're part of the Area 51 Sports Network. And we're reacting as the Calgary Flames have officially announced the extension for defenseman Mackenzie Weegar. Weegar, of course, part of the the trade in the offseason with Jonathan Huberdeau, Cole Schwint, first round pick in exchange for Matthew Tkachuk. The Flames extended Huberdeau earlier this offseason, and now they have finalized this deal with Mackenzie Weegar, 8 years and $50 million. Includes 4 years of a no movement clause, no trade clause in this as well. And I want to start, I think, with this. There's so many directions to go, but I really want to start with where this player Mackenzie Weegar came from, because I think that this is the first part about this. Was not a first round pick, came in as a high prospect, not highly touted. We passed over. This is what Cam Robinson tweeted. Passed over in his draft year. He was the sixth to last pick in that draft year, and as well stint in the ECHL. He was a bottom pairing guy at 25, and $50 million now locked in from 29 to 37. He's been a player though that has been on the radar. He was on the radar, of course, a couple of off seasons ago. We discussed the possibility of him wearing a Vancouver Canucks jersey when Jim Benning was around. So just to confirm, seventh round pick of the 206th overall of the 2013 entry draft. So that is uh, essentially that's where he's at. That's the same draft, by the way, of Nathan MacKinnon and Bo Horvat. If you're interested in that, and so yeah, congratulations to him. I think first of all, he's the sixth last player taken in that draft there for Weegar. So yeah, so let's go back. He was on our radar as a possibility as a Vancouver Canuck. There were rumors that the Ottawa Senators were interested in trying to acquire him in the offseason. That did not work out. And then, of course, what happened with the Flames when Matthew Tkachuk was traded, decided he didn't want to stay long term. He ends up in Florida, and this was part of that package. So I think good on Mackenzie Weegar, and I think congratulations to him in terms of what he got. And really, I think credit for what Brad Treeland has been able to continue to pull off with this offseason. Started with the last second leave of Johnny Gaudreau. He's turned that into signing three key pieces long term: Jonathan Huberdeau, Mackenzie Weegar, and of course Nazem Kadri. And there are a lot of non-Calgary Flame fans that are going to about how these deals are not going to age, and these are older players, and this is going to be a problem in a few years. I don't think right now, from a Calgary Flames fans perspective, they truly care. Uh, I think a lot of Flame fans are just really impressed and admire how Brad Treliving was able to pull all of this off. And I think that there is a conversation to be had about when these contracts, the further these contracts go, where this team is at. The cap is going up. But in a few years here, and maybe incrementally, maybe a skyrocket here. I think ultimately I'd rather wait and see officially, but we do know that the cap is going up. We also know that Mackenzie Weegar is a steady defenseman, and Ryan Pike tweeted he's getting the same pay as Josh Morrissey, Jeff Petrie, and fourth highest paid defenseman. 6.25 is probably a good price point for Mackenzie Weegar. I think I would have thought 7. So I think in terms of price point, I think this is a good price point. And For the Flames overall, this they're in this win now mode. They're in, you got to get this done and get it, win it right now and win the next few years. And we don't know how long Brad Treliving will be with the Flames. His contract's up at the end of the year. We don't know how long Daryl Sutter will be coaching. Could be the end of this year. His contract's up. He could do a couple more years. But the Flames are in win now mode. And definitely, I think when you go back to what happened with that Oilers series, and I always go back to what happened in that Oilers series. Their defense wasn't good enough, and Mackenzie Weegar brings a sense of versatility. He can play both sides. He can play right side, left side, power play, penalty kill. He can give you minutes. He can play up and down your defense. He can probably play with everybody. Um, I mean, maybe there's a question if he's not going to play with how well he's going to play without Aaron Ekblad. He's playing with probably one of the best defensive partners in the NHL right now, and Chris Tanev. I think that will be a very solid pair. You could counter that. Aaron Ekblad will be interested to see what Aaron Ekblad is like as going forward as well. So. I think just in terms of where the Flames are at, I think that this is a great sign-in. And again, I think Brad Treliving just had pulled off a massive off-season, considering the conversation about going from rebuild to what has happened here. Very impressive that he's been able to get all of this work done and get Mackenzie Weegar on board with the Calgary Flames. And I think that this was also important. You had Mackenzie Weegar coming as a UFA. Both Huberdeau and Weegar came in as UFAs. You come into after the Johnny Gaudreau situation. You want to get that done as quickly as possible. You did get it done as quickly as possible. I think from both player and management perspective, this is something you did not want to linger over the season. And even though you could look at this as a rental, and you could, I think you want to know where you're at with Mackenzie Weegar, and you want to know where you're at with UFAs, and getting all of that done for the Calgary Flames and Mackenzie Weegar, I think is a good thing. So I think a good day overall for the Calgary Flames, getting Mackenzie Weegar under contract. And, I think there is a fair conversation to be had where these contracts go. But right now, I think the Flames are right now in win now mode right now. And we'll see where they're at. And also, I think that this allows the Flames some flexibility to add another forward, which I still think is an issue here, adding another top six forward. So we look at the lines tonight, and they play the Winnipeg Jets. Lindholm, Huberdeau, Toffoli, Kadri, Mangiapane, Dubé. I think that could be a line probably we'll see during the season. Backlund, Zahorna, and Coleman. I think they're getting a look at Zahorna, but I think that I think they want him in the lineup. Ruzicka, Lucic, and Lewis, and then on defense, Hannafin, Anderson, Weegar, and Tanev, and Zadorov, and Connor Mackey looking like the pairing here. So there's still some things to work out here. You've still got the situation where Oliver Shillington, who may not be back at the beginning of the year here. So we don't know when he'll be back. We still will wonder if the full health of Chris Tanev. But they still also need to address that forward group. I think Kadri, Mangiapane, and Dubé look like a good line, but I think if the Hedger brothers, they could want to add one more top six right shot forward, I think that would work well. And so there's what we're at with the Flames. So this Weegar extension, getting that done allows the possibility of them moving or addressing that depth. I mean, I would suspect that Michael Stone's going to end up getting a contract here. He hasn't been released from his PTO. I think we'll see him somewhere in that lineup. I suspect we'll see some Nicholas Milosh in the lineup here earlier in the year. So it's just a matter of seeing if they can move a defenseman, possibly a Juuso Valimaki, for a forward. I don't know if that's a possibility, but there's still some other things to drop. And I think that getting that Weegar extension done allows the Flames to do that. So that's the instant reaction. That's what the Calgary Flames did today. Let us know what you think. Of course, you can follow us all individually on Twitter. Devin Gordhouse09, Sean Beardy Canuck 03, Tyler TNOBLE, Christian Schneids SCHNAIDZ. I am KEVOLE, Shifts and Pucks, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. Subscribe wherever you get your audio, as well as on the Area 51 Sports Network. Thank you for watching and listening. We will talk to you all very soon. Have a great long weekend. Happy Thanksgiving. Bye for now.